Libra, thank you for joining me and welcome to your horoscope spread for 2019. Last year I did this on Instagram, but this year we're just going to do it here on YouTube. I have 21 cards from the Thoth deck and we're going to find out how your horoscope is set up this year, okay? So I'm going to just put the cards face down and then we'll go through it together. This is your first card. I'm not sure how it's going to fit. I kind of brought the camera in closer, so we may have to squish it a little bit to make it work, but hopefully that will be okay. So let's see. Oh yeah, I think it'll fit. Yay. So if you guys are interested, I actually go in deeper into each of these positions and I will explain to you what each one means. There we go. It'll be a little bit tight, but we're good. Okay. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to go into these positions on Vimeo and I'll explain exactly which each one means. Also, you can read these month by month as well. So they don't have to be necessarily just the houses. And I'll explain what the houses are if you're not familiar with them. But yeah, these can be months. So starting in January and ending in December over here. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So that's the cards. So let's find out what they say. Okay. So happy New Year, you guys. And also I have a separate video coming out just for tarot. So you guys can check that out in the Libra playlist. Make sure you're always checking the playlist for all Libra videos. Also hashtag Veroosh Libra. I'm not sure how long that's going to be up though. So your core energy for this year is the Hanged Man. Ooh, okay. So it is a very spiritual year for you, Libra. I feel like you are doing a lot of kind of intuitive work as opposed to logic work. And that came up in your tarot reading already for this year, for 2019. Certain circumstances may keep you bound to a situation that you are responsible to. There's some suggestion that you may have to make a personal sacrifice in order to kind of help someone else out who needs it in your family specifically. So the Hanged Man may mean that some of your plans will go on hold this year. And as you figure out other things and as you extend your energy to others, but it's going to be a fulfilling thing. It's not going to be frustrating or disappointing. It's going to be very fulfilling for you to do that. And I said in the other video that you most likely will do it voluntarily. So it's out of your own volition. It has nothing to do with, you know, trying to be coerced or encouraged to do something you don't want. Okay, so your first house represents January. It also represents the self. And so your first house is the Sagittarius, Aquarius card of the star. And so this means that it's a destined year. It's a destiny year for your personality. And I feel like serendipitous moments will happen in your life that will take your personality to new directions. You really need to go with your instincts this year. Really follow your instincts and start listening to your heart, listening to all those things to try to get the clearest answer about what you're supposed to do moving forward. Here is the next message. You have the Sun in the second house. This means that it's going to be a very favorable year for you in terms of money. Jupiter was in this position last year, so now you are bearing the fruit of that transit. The next transit is for the third house where Jupiter is actually. So this is the card of Jupiter. So you guys get the Wheel of Fortune in this position. And so what that means is who you want to be is really crystallizing in a very specific manner, and it's being well received by other people, and you are able to share with others those those aspects of your identity. And so through that you are able to say, hey, this is me, and show the world and have that well received, and be well received in general. You'll be very likable this year. In the fourth house, this is a big one. So the Mother, the Empress, this is where all the intense transits are. And I'll do a special video for astrology to explain what transits are there. But for those of you guys who are interested, it's the South Node, Saturn, and Pluto that are going to be in Capricorn for the majority of the year. With the Empress here, I feel as though for some of you, your responsibilities as mothers are going to be heightened and accentuated. And for some of you, this will mean a relationship with your mother that will be very pronounced. In your reading for the tarot overview, there was a crone figure, not to call your mother's old, but there is a crone figure who may be the person who you're turning to for all the advice, because it seems as though this person is very insightful. Here is the next message. In the 5th house, we have the Death card. This could be Scorpio in the 5th house, because it means that there will be a change in terms of what you like to do, what you enjoy, and the things that you choose to spend your time on. This can also mean that there's going to be a romance with a Scorpio that takes up some time this year. The next message is the High Priestess. On a day-to-day basis, intuition is going to guide your way. So you should really follow through on your intuitive inclinations or suggestions. Those are going to tell you which way to go and how to progress through things. The next message is the Devil in the 7th house. And this is where you have Chiron transiting in your 7th house this year and for the next several years. So really be careful who you choose to be your partners and how you align that. The Devil only works through malefic energy. So if you're being malefic, or if you are in some way working through your shadow energy, then this is going to be easier for this type of situation to really take hold of your life. So you really you want to be working through a virtuous energy, and especially with the Sagittarius, with the Hanged Man in the center, there's this kind of suspension. There's this sort of, this is like in some way purgatory. This is in some way being really held accountable for one's actions, and it's a beautiful card, and it's a beautiful meaning. The meaning means that life is going to hold you in a specific place and time for a time being, that you won't be able to necessarily determine who, what, where, and why. However, it's going to teach you a very valuable life lesson that's going to elevate your consciousness. So it's a really hard card to get in the center, but it's also really quite beautiful. However, it's like when we are being very pure, when we are very pure, when we're being innocent, then the last thing we want to do is conflate that with a lot of unjust behavior and just a selfishness. So if you're dealing with a Libra and you're cross-watching, they have to be on their best, or they're going to be kind of really falling apart or not going in a good direction. For the 8th house, so the 8th house is August, right? We have Virgo, the Hermit. So a change that will lead you on a spirit quest. I'll tell you guys that came up in the tarot reading pretty much the same way. And then we have the 9th house, which is knowledge, insight, and this is long distance travel, change of home to a faraway place, or possibly there could be someone who is very significant to you who's coming into your life from very far away. So you're making that connection, Libra. This can also coincide with September, okay? Okay, so I'm trying to include the cards the best I can. And then we have the 10th house, which is October. We have the universe. So this is expansion. I think your focus is that of really expanding into the world, going somewhere else, expanding horizons, looking over yonder, really kind of opening your mind to new directions. And I feel like you are meant to go in a specific direction and make a change at a certain point this year. I would not sweat too much this year, Libra. At a certain point this year, you are going to just cut your losses and make a change, and that change will be very drastic for you in your life. And I think that it will be the future forward. The next message is the Moon. And so I feel like in your friends, changeable feelings. Some of them very good, some of them questionable, trying to figure out who's who and what's what. There's a lot of sympathy. There's a lot of desire there, shared desire. Again, don't get into any kind of relationships that are in any way, shadowy or sketchy. In the 12th house, we have the Chariot, wonderful card for the 12th house, and this is December, so hopefully you can follow along in the months. In the Vimeo, I'll list it by the house that you guys rent or buy the video, and I'll explain what it's there, what's inside of there. But your spirituality is going to be heightened, and one of the main themes for you for 2019 is really to do with your spirituality ascending, transforming, pushing forward, and making a complete change, a complete transformation. So what I want to do now is I'm going to take these to the side, and I'm going to show you guys how a reading looks on Vimeo, so that if you guys want to rent and or buy and support the channel, that would be great. I really appreciate comments as well on these videos, especially if you're watching in March or February or something, a few months in. Just make sure to comment and to like. Those things really matter, and they help the channel grow, and it's very good for me. So I hope that you guys are able to do that and support. Okay, so I'll show you guys how the Vimeo works by taking a look at the center card. The center card for you is the Hanged Man, and so this coincides with the property of being suspended in life a certain way, having to contend with the realities that are around you. Maybe being school ready to move on from school and still having to finish what you have begun. You know, it's kind of, there's a level of also sacrifice here for other people. This also came through in your other reading. Sacrifice for other people, putting your desires on the shelf for the betterment of others. So whatever you're putting out there will come back onto you tenfold. And like I said, you want to really lead a clean and healthy and positive life. Okay, so here, let's see your 10 cards. I think altogether, is it 10? No, it's 11 cards altogether, but here are your cards for this energy. So your first card is the 8 of Rods. A lot of time spent in the country, a lot of time spent with kind of rural areas. Love coming into your life quickly, providing comfort and support in times of need. The next message is the 10 of Rods. I feel as though there is considerable amount of work that you will have to attend to, and I feel like maybe some of the work stuff is really keeping you bound from doing some of the things that you want, but still you can continue working and moving forward. The next message is the 8 of Pentacles, and so this is another 8. Yep, so we have 2 8s, and this refers to hard work and dedication. I feel like in a certain way you have a goal that you want to make, and I think before you can move forward you have to learn a skill, or the skill of the thing that you want to learn, in order to have a way to get through the situation. The next message is we have the Fool, new beginning. Yep, it's definitely happening for you this year. You're definitely going to take a detour in life. You're going to go a different direction, a direction you've never thought before. The next message is the Queen of Rods. And so I feel as though this is a woman who is around you. She's a Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I feel as though she in some way is adding to your stress. She's adding to the workload, but it may be for a better reason. She may be giving you opportunities that you shouldn't pass by. Here is the last card from the tarot. We have the Page of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. There's some kind of offer that is being given to you. It's kind of like an initiation offer. If you take this route, then you will progress. It will take a lot of effort, but ultimately you will see an improvement based on the effort that you exert into this situation. So now we're going to break it up with a little bit of a positive affirmation card from Louise Hay. I really like this deck. This is the Heart Thoughts cards. And let's find out what message you have. I am pure spirit. Okay. I recognize the true beauty of my being. I am the spirit of love shining brightly. So I think that really refers to the Hanged Man in terms of the attitude that you should probably take on, the attitude that's best this year. It really has to do with really having a clear heart, clear intentions towards people and situations. Your next card is, we have accept these gifts of the universe. So the universe seems to be giving you a lot of things, but they may be different than that which you were ready for, different than that which you are accustomed to. So there has to be some level of acceptance, some level of tolerance towards that which is being given. And really appreciate whatever's being given as an answer to the riddle of who you're becoming. And so even if it doesn't fit perfectly right away, just hold it, nurture it, and see what comes of it. The next message is, we have 4 Lenormand cards just to finish. We have the Cross, which is the responsibility towards someone or something. And then we have the Coffin, which means that that responsibility, I think about mid-year, is going to change for you. So definitely maybe when, yeah, about mid-year, that responsibility may change for you and make some transitions and transformations. Maybe in April, when we have the massive retrograde season, and maybe in April that will change, or possibly in March even. As early as late March into April, the change of the sacrifice that you are making towards someone else may be modified. You may not need to exert that energy in that direction anymore. The next message is the Key. You will have an opportunity in a new direction. Horizons are going to open up for you, and you will get the privilege of attempting something new. And then also, this is the tree. I know it comes through really funny here. You can see it there. But the tree represents the fact that in whatever direction you're going, you're setting down roots in a new way. So you're setting down roots in a new direction, and you are in some way really getting grounded and committed to this new path and this new way, this new direction that you're taking. So I hope that you enjoyed this breakdown. So there'll be 12 videos for each of the cards that I picked earlier, right? And so it's not this one. I don't mean to scare you. Where is it? We start with the Star. How about that's much better. So I'll go through the 12 houses and explain them for you on Vimeo in the same manner as I did here. Thanks so much for watching, Libra. I hope you guys have a wonderful 2019, and all your other videos will be on the Libra playlist. Thanks again. Take care.